Pregame.com.
Welcome back to Pregame.tv. NBA playoff action Saturday, Game 1. Boston Celtics, New York Knicks. Ken, I got to tell you, this line, a lot of movement jumping around in this game. Not on the game itself, but the total. And that's something we're going to talk about as we move forward in this first round of the playoffs. This game opened up at 193 with the total, and it wasn't there for long. The Sharps jumped in right away, hit this total down to 189.5. And right before we went on the air, me and you talked about defense in the playoffs. You know, it's a different animal. You're going to see tighter games. You're going to see more intensity. But you like it even more when we're talking about game ones of these playoff series, because everybody wants to try to get that, you know, that leg up in the series.
Right.
How do you take a look at this one? This will be my free play, but I'll have some more on that in a second.
Well, you know, I'm partial, so I'll root for my Knicks. I really like the way Carmelo Anthony is playing. At first, I thought he was shooting too much, but he got so consistent. I mean, we haven't even seen that when he was in his Denver days and he had free reign to shoot. J.R. Smith has been his sidekick, so it's nice to have. There's several X factors for the Knicks. Believe it or not, Camby's actually cleared to play, but they've got guys like Novak and Kidd and Shumpert. Those guys are the intangibles. They need to step up. You're going to get your 30-point games from Carmelo. You're going to get your 22, 24-point games from J.R. Smith. Can the Knicks clear their glass, help out Chandler on that on the defensive glass, and get second shot opportunities? They're going to need them to beat Boston, because Boston has playoff experience. They've got that moxie, and they've got, as much as I like you know, coaching for New York Woodson, he's not near as good as Doc Rivers.
You know, we may find down the road that he ends up being, but definitely right now he's just lacking the experience. But I like what he's done with this team. I mean, when he took over last year, you know, he got this team playing some good basketball, and you know, they've definitely moved forward this year. The one thing I don't like about the Knicks, and it's the concern, is I still don't like them on the defensive end of the floor. And when you're playing this Boston Celtic team, this is a team, like you said, KG veterans. They've been here before. They've done that. And, you know, Doc Rivers, you know his style of basketball. They're going to play hard-nosed defense for the whole 48 minutes. And their model, you know, because, I mean, they're a number 7 seed this year, is they're going to get in there, keep the game close. If we play, you know, if we can slow them down, keep the game close, our veterans, we know how to handle the pressure. Just give us that shot to be within striking distance in the fourth quarter, and they think they can steal them. And really, all they're looking to do is steal one of these first 2 games in New York. Before I wrap it up, you got anything before I give my closing on this?
Yeah, they tried to
make you happy.
That's okay. They tried that the last time in Boston, lost 100-85. So while they slowed it down a little bit, the Knicks were able to get that run. And the Knicks have been doing that several times this year in games that I thought they would have trouble scoring against teams. They've had that one run, and they've pulled away. They did it against Indiana last week, and they've done it against several other teams during the year that I didn't think that they were going to be able to do that. So I think they're showing a little maturity. But again, this is the playoffs, and there's pressure on them because they are the higher seed this time.
Absolutely. Hey, this is my free pick, so let's make it official. All right, guys, we're looking at this Boston-New York series. I think it's going to be a dogfight. Yeah, the Knicks are the better team. We all know that. But Boston, they are the cagey veteran. They've been here before. They've done that. They're going to try to make this a war. Slow it down, frustrate Carmelo Anthony, give him tough looks at the basket. But the other thing that I look at in the playoffs, and one thing I got to stress to people, don't take shortcuts when you're handicapping the playoffs. Yeah, the Knicks 3-1 straight up against Boston. But if you break down those 4 games, it was like 2 different seasons. They played 2 games earlier in the year, back in January, and then they played 2 games late in March. At the end of March, Boston was just trying to get to the finish line, in my opinion. The Knicks were on a roll. Carmelo was going after the scoring title. They were trying to lock down the number 2 seed. Boston, we know all the injuries they had this year, and at the end of the season, Doc Rivers, in my opinion, was just trying to keep the troops as healthy as possible. I think this is going to go back to the first 2 games of the season where The Celtics won in New York as a 7.5-point underdog by 6. And in the second game, New York won at Boston by 3. Both were tight games. I think that's the type of game you're going to see here. I'm going to go ahead and grab the points in this one with Boston. And as I said, the Sharps come in and bet this game under right away. So if the Sharps are expecting a lower scoring game, that's going to benefit me with the points. We'll take Boston plus the points. If you want to look for a little correlated parlay, you'd be looking at Boston and the under in this one. But I'm going to make it official. Boston is my free play for Saturday. Now, we're going to be back next. We're going to Sunday action, Ken's free play. We're going to take a look at Atlanta at Indiana. Here's two teams that really limped in at the finish line. We'll see who Ken likes up next on pregame.tv.